Today, we're talking business. I created a basic list of all the costs you need for when starting a Cricut craft business. And to be honest, it's really not that much. Hey everyone, and welcome back again to another video with Amy Makes That. As always, I hope you're having an amazing day. I'm really excited for today's video, which is on Cricut craft business startup costs that you definitely need to know. A lot of you are eager to start businesses with your Cricut, and you need some guidance on how much everything is, what you really need, what you don't really need, and I thought this would be the perfect video to tell you guys that. I will be mentioning a lot of products in this video, which they are all going to be listed in the video description and in my Amazon shop. So I will show some screenshots of that throughout this video. Those are all my disclaimers. Again, no one is sponsoring this video, and if you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram already, I highly suggest you do, because I also talk about a lot more tips on there that I don't talk about on my YouTube channel. So before I get into the nitty-gritty of what you need, I'm already going to be assuming that you have two things, and those two things are a computer, whether it's a tablet, a laptop, a desktop computer, and a phone. Most of you, if you're watching this, you definitely have a phone, you definitely have a laptop of some sort, and the reason why I say that is because in order to work with Cricut Design Space and Cricut, you need some kind of tablet or a desktop of some sort. I do recommend a laptop, not an iPad, because some features on Cricut Design Space are not applicable on a tablet. And I say cell phone because you need to take pictures, right? So the first cost that you will need to spend some money on when you're starting a Cricut craft business is, I think you can guess it, a Cricut. Whether this is the Cricut Maker, the new models, the Maker 3, the Explorer 3. I also get a lot of questions on what Cricut is best for you, and I feel like I can't really make that decision for you because I don't know what you're making. I personally have the Cricut Maker. I show her in all of my videos, but I also had the Explorer Air 2, which worked great for me as well. Those are my recommendations on the Cricut, and they usually range from about $200 to I think $350, I want to say. But all of those prices and the exact amounts will be listed in the video description. So the next item that you will most likely need is a printer. Now this can be a laser printer or an inkjet printer. I happen to have both on my Amazon shop, and I list some very nice quality, cost-effective ones. Unfortunately, my printer, I got it a few years ago and it's out of stock, and if it's in stock, it's like a ridiculous amount of money. Got it as a gift for Christmas, and I believe it was probably around $200. Most printers are gonna be around $100 to $200. So for this list, I'm gonna put down the Cricut as $250, and then for the printer, I'm gonna put that at around $150, because there are some that are $99, some that are $300, $400. You could spend a lot on printers. And the reason why I say a printer is because it depends on the business of yours. If you're a sticker business, you definitely need a printer. I also printed my invoices. If you have a website like Etsy or Shopify, I personally always printed the invoice and included them in the package. And if you want to make labels of some sort, the printer is also good for any thank you cards that you put in. I think it's really important to have a business card in there, some thank you cards, a coupon code if anything. So that's why a printer is really important, because it helps with marketing as well. So the next one, this is optional, depending on what your business is, of course, but it is a heat press. So I have two different kinds of heat presses. I have a commercial heat press, which is from 143 Vinyl, which I've shown and mentioned in many of my videos. And then I also have the Cricut Easy Press 2. Now both work great for me. I mainly use the Cricut Easy Press 2 when I'm doing more personal projects. I need a crew neck quick or a onesie or something, but I strictly used my commercial heat press when I did my t-shirts for my shop, because it was easier to do things in bulk versus the Cricut Easy Press. You get a different pressure each time. Not saying that the Cricut Easy Press isn't good, because I love it so much and I still use it to this day. I'm not going to include that in this list because it's very optional, but those are things that you do need to take into consideration. The next one is shipping supplies. Your shipping supplies should not cost that much, and I say that because you're not making profit on shipping. If you want to include like a $2 fee, you can add that into your price, of course, of your item, but I mainly used priority mail boxes and bags, and that helped so much because they're free. If you don't know, you can sign up on USPS.com, and that way you don't have to buy any boxes. And then of course you need some tape, label paper if you have a label printer, some poly mailer bags, you could get them really cheap on Amazon, and a shipping scale. The shipping scale is super important. I think mine was about, I want to say $20, but I could be wrong. It is definitely listed in my Amazon shop and also in the video description too. So for shipping supplies, I'm probably gonna say 100. I'm just gonna go higher on this point because I just want to show you at most what it would be. And then blanks. With me, when I started my t-shirt shop, I did order just enough blanks. I ordered, I think, 2 of each color, a size or 2. I didn't really order that much because I saw what was selling and what wasn't selling, because if I bought 50 shirts and 2 people ordered from them, then you're losing money, and it's a really bad feeling when that happens. Blanks, I'm going to say just set aside $100 because you just want to have some inventory but not too much. I again talk about this briefly in my 7 things to know before Etsy shop video, so I will link that too in the cards. And of course, if you're working with a Cricut and you have a craft business, you need vinyl. Whether this may be HTV vinyl or adhesive vinyl, you're definitely going to need vinyl. But I just put vinyl on here because it is a very common product. So I'm going to set aside about $50 because depending on where you get your vinyl and your rolls, I do mention my favorite place that I get vinyl from in this video, which I will post the card here for. I'm just going to set aside $50 for that. Vinyl is very cheap if you get it from the right place. And the last category that I have for costs for Cricut craft business are office supplies. So this could mean a little storage shelf, a vinyl holder, a storage shelf to place if you have a t-shirt shop or if you have a doormat shop to put your blank vinyls on, or if you need a drawer unit. For this, I would probably set aside about $100 to $150 depending where you get your items from again. I also have 2 other drawers from Target. They were like 20 bucks each. It really depends on how much you want to set aside for it. I'm again going to highball it and put $150. All right, so let's do the math on this. So the first item was the Cricut, that's $250. I'm not gonna put the heat press in, and then we're gonna do the printer, which is $150, $100 for the shipping supplies, the blanks for another $100, vinyl for $50, and then office supplies for $150. Ultimately, it would cost about $800 upfront for you to start a Cricut craft business. It might sound like a lot upfront, but again, I also highballed this. It really depends on what business you have. You might not be spending $100 on shipping, or you might only be spending $25 on vinyl. That really depends, again, on your niche, what you're looking to sell, what you're willing to pay for. People think, oh, I could just buy a Cricut and then I could buy a few other things and then I could just start my business, but there's a lot more that goes into it. Financially, emotionally, physically. Most people that start businesses, they spend a lot more on what their startup costs are. Like me for a YouTube channel, my camera costed over $1,000 with the lens, with the camera, and that's just the camera. That's not including the tripod and my MacBook and the editing software. You need to ask yourself, is this worth it to me? Am I going to make a profit after all of this? Because when I started my Etsy shop, this was an expense that I made back. So that's why I tell people to start out as a hobby, because if you start realizing maybe this isn't for me, then at least you're not losing out on money and you've gained an experience from it. So that is it for today's video. I hope you all learned something really valuable from everything that I had to say in regards to the costs that you will need to take into consideration for a craft business. I'm looking to do a lot more Cricut craft business tips because you guys seem to really favor these videos on my channel. So if you have any recommendations, please put them in the comment section. If you don't follow me on my social media, what are you doing? Follow me already. I post lots of fun stuff every single day. Subscribe and like this video if you did enjoy it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!